Hi everyone, welcome in or welcome back to Between Realms Tarot. Today's reading is going to be about what are they thinking about you right now. I'm going to try to uncover what is your person thinking about you literally right now at this exact moment, or the general energy around thoughts in the most recent time they ever thought about you. Before we start the reading, I want to remind you that I do private readings, so if you'd like to book a private reading with me, or if you'd like to support me and my channel, you will find my details in the description box below. And I would like your help please with the polls that I have posted in the community tab. So if you take a minute of your time just to help me plan for the streaming lives that I'm planning to do, yeah, I would really appreciate it. Thank you for staying through this intro, and let's start the reading. For today's reading, we're going to have 3 piles, and I have picked 3 AI generated images for you, and I also named the piles. So pile number 1's name is going to be Precious Thoughts, and it's going to be represented by this vintage golden key. Pile number 2 is going to be called Intuitive Path Thoughts, and it's going to be represented by this vintage brass compass. And pile number 3 is going to be called Reflections of the Mind, and it is represented by the vintage book. Okay, so I'm going to put the 3 piles in front of you right now. You can pause and take your time, take a deep breath, relax, and try to listen to that subtle inner voice, and that is the one that is going to guide you towards your pile. You will find the timestamps in the description box below. If you have picked your pile, let's start your reading. Hi, pile number 1, or the pile called Precious Thoughts. If you have chosen the image of the vintage golden key, this is going to be your reading about what is your person thinking about you right now. Let's start your reading. Pile number 1. Let me first tell you what cards we got today. So from the animal spirit of the Wild Unknown, we got Elephant, Firefly, and Lamb. And from the Lenormand deck, we got Lilies and Coffin. And from Tarot, we got the Emperor, Ten of Wands, Nine of Swords, Knight of Cups, and the Four of Swords. And with the dice, I got Mars in the 6th house in Gemini. I called your pile Precious Thoughts, and it's symbolized by the golden key. And it really, as I'm reading, I got a lot of synchronicities that talk about this person, mental direction towards finding a solution, or towards finding resolution. I want to say resolution. And so let's start with Mars in the 6th house in Gemini here, because this person is heavily overthinking about you and about this situation, because Gemini is the natural zodiac sign of thinking. In the 6th house with Mars, it really shows burdens and internal conflicts resulting from overthinking the situation. And I feel like they might be overthinking maybe what they have said to you and what they haven't said to you yet, and maybe what you didn't or did say to them. So yeah, I feel like they're overthinking a lot, and because of that, it might result in a lot of I want to say burden. Also, they might feel burnt out, and they might feel like they are constantly fighting or constantly conflicted inside. With the Elephant and Firefly and Lamb here, what I see in general is that this person is constantly burdened by thinking and constantly anxious, but they somehow always end up I feel like if they had a pattern of overthinking about you and overthinking this situation, right now they are more directed towards finding peace with the Lamb here, because as you see here, there is a synchronicity of having the Lamb twice in the deck, in the reading right now. And the Lamb really talks about in the Animal Spirit deck, it talks about finding the truth. It talks about the inner knowing and the peace that comes from the inner knowing. And with the Four of Swords here, this person definitely seeks peace despite them having this pattern of overthinking. I feel like you would resonate with this reading more if you are in a breakup situation with this person, or maybe only in a no contact situation with this person. And so with the Elephant and the Firefly, this person seems to be struggling with constant anxiety and constant thinking. And with the Ten of Wands here and the Emperor and the Nine of Swords, so what really goes through their mind is thoughts of how to look composed, of how to resolve the situation with the Emperor here, how to act maturely, and how to really take action from a mature masculine energy place. And with the Ten of Wands and the Nine of Swords, it feels like with the Firefly also there is constant thinking, overthinking that makes them sleepless here with the Nine of Swords and burdened with the Ten of Wands. And they might be holding a lot of feelings of shame. And maybe I feel like there is difficulty in this situation. I feel like maybe there are unsaid things between you. There are maybe obstacles between you in your situation with your person, pile number one. But with the Elephant, it feels like your person, and just under that, the Emperor, there is a lot of synchronicity. As you see, under the Elephant, there is the Emperor. And this person wants to be a winner. This person wants to resolve the conflicts, because the Elephant is an energy of somebody who's unstoppable. Literally, that's what the card says. So the Elephant is an auspicious symbol of victory, of resolution, of winning despite the obstacles, of reaching a desirable outcome. So yeah, I feel like there are things that might have seemed out of control for you in this situation with your person, pile number one. Yeah, with the Ten of Wands, they might be burdens of what you or your person did not say. Maybe I want to say there are obstacles in this situation. Maybe it's you would resonate with this differently. It might be not being on the same page. It might be not recognizing what you or your person might not have recognized in the past what they wanted, and so they might have created a burden in the way you connect to them, and the connection felt heavy. It felt like a job. It didn't feel natural, because I feel like maybe this person struggled personally in their life, maybe in their own job, maybe in their daily life. With the sixth house here, I feel like they might have a lot of responsibilities or things to attend to, and so maybe the connection wasn't something that they could have prioritized taking care of at that moment. But they keep thinking. They're constantly thinking and overthinking. And so if your intuition, pile number one, is telling you that your person is constantly thinking about you, you're right. Definitely they're thinking about you. With the Coffin and lilies here, it feels like there was an ending. And as I said, it feels like a no contact situation, or you might be in a break, or it is a breakup. This might be somebody you might be calling an ex. You would resonate with this really differently, but yeah, it seems like there is no contact, or the situation may be changed and you feel the change and it feels different. It feels more heavy to connect with this person. It doesn't feel flowing. I feel like emotions are not really flowing in this situation. But this person, despite all of this overthinking, they're still romantically involved with you. The Son of Cups here, which is the Knight of Cups, they seem to be having emotions directed towards you. And it feels like this person, as I said at the beginning of the reading, despite them having restless thoughts and restless mind and constantly thinking and overthinking, they seem right now to reach a resolution, especially with the key symbolism of this pile. And the resolution is that they know with the Lamb, they have an inner knowing, an intuitive feeling, a gut feeling that leads them towards peace in this situation with the Son of Cups and the Four of Swords. Despite them not being in contact with you, they seem like they are withdrawing just to contemplate and to heal. They seem like They want to heal whatever burden and whatever burnout they have, or whatever pain and burnout. I feel like with the Ten of Wands, that whatever burnout they have from the situation with you because of their restless mind and how much heavy this feels for them, they took time to just heal with the Four of Swords and the Lamb. And despite having restless mind, they still resolute towards having feelings and having this genuine connection with you with the Knight of Cups. They seem to be genuinely caring and loving towards you. And with the lilies, yeah, it's like there is a spiritual knowing, because the lilies really talks about a spiritual connection, and it talks about a desire for reconciliation. We can see 3 lilies in here, 1, 2, 3, and it reminds me of the Three of Cups, which is a card of reconciliation in love connections. But really, the lilies from the Lenormand deck really talks about reconciliation in love, and being genuinely like having the spiritual bond, and really wanting to rise above conflicts and rise above mental restlessness and find pure love and innocence. I feel like, yeah, maybe you had more of a casual connection, and when things needed to be maybe taken to a different level, maybe this person found themselves lost in what to do with the Emperor and the Ten of Wands and where to go, and so that made the energy really heavy. And so, yeah, you should know, pile number 1, that your person, despite them being overthinking and restless, despite them taking time away, it's only so that they can heal with the Four of Swords, and that they can rest and rejuvenate. And know that despite having these thoughts, they still love you and they still care about you with the Sun of Cups, and they're still really involved emotionally and romantically wise. So pile number 1, this was your reading. I really hope it gave you insight into your situation. If you resonated, please press the like button, comment down below, because I love reading your comments, and subscribe so you won't miss any future readings. And if you have any suggestions about readings you would like to suggest, maybe, please comment down below. And if you want to book a private reading with me, or if you'd like to support me and my channel, you will find all the details in the description box below. Thank you so much for watching pile number 1, and see you next time. Hi, pile number 3, or the pile of intuitive path. If you have chosen this picture of the vintage brass compass, this is going to be your reading about what is your person currently, or at this exact moment, thinking about you. Let's start your reading. Pile number 2. This is an extremely heavy spiritual connection with a lot of karmic lessons, I feel. I feel extremely, how do I say it, like, I feel connected to something higher than myself. And I feel like there are things that are not really clear to the human mind. So let's start. From the Animal Spirit deck, we got Black, Egg, and Cobra. From the Lenormand deck, we got Cross and Owls. From Tarot, we got Justice, Two of Cups, the World, Ace of Swords, and the Ten of Pentacles. And from the dices, we got Neptune in the 6th house in Gemini. Let's start with the dices. So with Neptune in the 6th house in Gemini, this person constantly thinks, like they do this almost obsessively on the daily basis with the 6th house. They seem to imagine situations that happen on the daily basis. I feel like they tend to imagine what it feels like to spend or to communicate or to actually live with you. They might imagine how things would be, how normal things would be felt when they are lived with you. But in Gemini, this seems to be constant. I feel like they think of you even when they don't know that they're thinking of you. They think of you and they're doing normal daily stuff. And it's almost obsessive, and it's really full maybe of daydreaming with Neptune here. It's like constant daydreaming. Constantly daydreaming while doing things, while not doing things. They just drift away sometimes unconsciously into thinking about you, and their thoughts do not seem to be clear. Their thoughts seem to be Neptunian in nature, which may be full of illusions or full of projections of the mind. So with the compass, for me, the compass really has a Neptunian energy to it, because it seems like we use the compass to direct ourselves in places where we might not be we might not have visited before, and it doesn't seem like we have maybe a documentation of a place, so we use the compass to find our direction. And it's really intuitive, like it feels like I called it really the intuitive path pile, and it feels like this person still kind of struggles to find clarity, and it feels like because of the connection is very spiritual, it feels like the only way to find clarity in your situation and their thoughts is by reaching into their intuition on the daily basis. But Neptune here really represents intuition, but when it's not balanced, it doesn't represent intuition, it represents illusions. And so their thoughts seem to be a mix of illusions and intuition, and they seem to constantly try to find what is real from what is an imagination daily. So with the black egg, it seems like there is a hidden truth, or there are things that are unspoken, or there are things that need to be spoken with the black egg. It feels like there is this cutting truth, especially with the Ace of Swords here. Feels like there is this truth that is ultimate and that this person thinks of constantly. But with the Cobra, they seem to be waiting, being patient, and trying to really kind of humble themselves. This person, I feel like, recognizes the spiritual nature of the connection, or even if they didn't recognize it maybe before, they seem to right now be humbled. They seem to right now try to not act from an ego place and try to really act from a truthful place here with the black egg. And with the Cobra, they seem to want to wait for the right moment and the right signal from their intuition because they seem to understand that this connection teaches them a lot of things with the Cobra. But with the Cross and the Owls, I feel like you and your person pile number 2 have gone through a lot of things, because the Cross really talks about difficulties and karma to be processed, and we have the Justice card here. And so yeah, it feels like there is karma to be processed in this situation. There is karma to be processed in this situation with Justice and Cross, and this karma seems to be related to learning spiritual lessons from this connection. With the Owls, yeah, there is also intuition at play. Again, the Owls is an alternative card to the Birds, or an extra card in the deck of the Romantic Lenormand, if you want to check it. And this extra card is similar to the Birds card, but it's also, I want to say, a higher octave of the Birds card, where there is more of a divine order to the thought process or to the communication. So there seems to be messages being received from the divine here. So it's really synchronizing with the Neptunian energy. This person seems to be waiting and really trying to process divine thoughts or maybe intuition that comes from a truthful place with the black egg here, rather than from an ego place or from an overthinking place. So your person, pile number 2, seems to be having an intuitive or a psychic or a spiritual power that gets them messages, or they might be a channeler, but I don't think they know it yet. I feel like they see it maybe as a compass. Maybe they use it in a practical way. Maybe they just try to feel their way into things. Even if they use their thoughts, I feel like they do try to use their compass, their inner compass. With the Neptune Owls, it feels like they humble themselves so they can listen to intuition or their guidance. But with Neptune, it feels like they don't recognize that they have some kind of a psychic power, maybe. And it seems to be mixed up with their imagination sometimes. But as I said, with Justice, it seems like they do see this connection as something that deserves being humbled by, and they don't want to act from an egoistic place. I feel like you or your person by number 2 might have Libra energy present or Saturnian energy present, but I don't see it as a negative energy. Maybe in your synastry or composite charts, you might have a significant Saturn and Libra energy. I don't see it as negative, as I said. I do see maybe you did go through some lessons in this connection with your person, and they do 100% recognize the lessons. And if you were asking if they learned the lesson, they definitely did, and they seem to be more humbled by it. But yeah, I feel like you can check your charts and you might find Libra in Saturnian energy in your charts. With the Two of Cups, they seem to be thinking about how much fairness, well, I said with the Justice, but how much reciprocity, and they do seem like they see you as a soulmate. They do seem to see nobody else, and they do think of you and of this connection as something that is meant to last. They think of this as a partnership that is meant to be a forever one, because with the World and the Ace of Swords, they seem to have learned the lesson. Like literally the World is under the cross card, and it feels like a cycle has ended in this connection, and the lesson is learned, and now it's time to act from a truthful place with the Ace of Swords here. I feel like with the Black Egg, they want to act from an authentic place, and they do want to maybe communicate something here to you with the Ace of Swords, with Gemini energy, but they don't seem to yet understand what is real from what is not. I'm not sure if you are communicating with this person, but trust me, but trust that they see you as a soulmate. They see you as the partner, as the, I want to say the life partner or the divine counterpart. It's a divine counterpart energy here with the Two of Cups, mainly because it's a spiritual connection with karmic lessons. But once the lessons are learned, it turns, like, I feel like you might have the free will at the end, after the karma is resolved, to choose to actually be with this person or not. And they feel like I feel like they choose to be with you, pile number 2, with the Two of Cups, 100%. I feel like they want to communicate with you with the Ace of Swords. It's like they have this clarity. It's like they learned the lesson, and their thoughts are full of being humbled, and I learned the lesson, and this connection is significant to me. And with the Two of Cups, this person by number 2 is significant to me, and I see them as my counterpart, and I have this clarity with the Ace of Swords that this person is the one I want to spend my life with, and this person is somebody I want to create a legacy with here with the Ten of Pentacles. So those are their thoughts about you, pile number 2. They do seem to see you as finally, after learning all of these lessons and being humbled and by all of these lessons, they seem to be waiting for the right moment, and for the moment where it clicks, intuitively speaking, so that they can maybe communicate to you with inner clarity and authenticity, inner authenticity, that they want to somehow have the long-term commitment here with the Ten of Pentacles. They seem to be wanting something long-term, and they are 100% clear about it. But they do need to reach a place of inner clarity here with the Neptunian. They do need to wait for the right moment with the Neptunian energy in here. So pile number 2, this was your reading. If it resonated, please press the like button, comment down below. I'd love to hear your stories, and subscribe so you won't miss any future readings. And if you'd like to book a private reading with me, or if you'd like to support me and my channel, you will find all the details in the description box below. Thank you so much for watching pile number 2, and see you next time. Hi, pile number 3, or the pile of the reflections of the mind. If you have chosen the image of this vintage book, this is going to be a reading about what is your person currently thinking about you. Let's start your reading. So pile number 3, I apologize for the low lighting. Again, I lost the natural light that I use from the sun. but I'm going to upgrade the setup soon, so don't worry about that. So let's start the reading. From the animal spirit we got otter and fox, and from the Lenormand deck we got coffin and fish. And with the dices, I got Sun in Cancer in the 5th house, and from Tarot we got the Page of Swords or the Daughter of Swords, the Hanged Man, the Six of Cups, the Mother of Pentacles or the Queen of Pentacles, and the Justice card. So let's start with the dices here, because with the Sun in the 5th house in Cancer, this person, pile number 3, seems to think about how you made them happy. They seem to, especially with the Six of Cups here, it seems like the theme of the connection is how much happiness you bring to their lives. And also there is this sense of nostalgia and somehow missing the warmth and the joyful energy you used to give them. With the Sun in Cancer in the 5th house, I feel like you have cared for them deeply. I feel like this is in your nature, especially with the Mother of Pentacles here. I feel like you are naturally a caring and a nurturing person, somebody who wouldn't back away from giving or nurturing their partner or the people that they care or love or they care about. And I feel like they also tend to kind of have a protective energy or protective thoughts about how the connection is currently or used to be. They kind of like really tend to protect the memory of you and the memory of how you would make them feel. They also might be themselves protective towards you and towards this connection. They seem to be protective over how this connection is. It's like, because with the fox energy here, there is this committed energy to your person. Their thoughts are really towards committing to you because of how much happiness you bring to their lives. And with the otter energy here, at the first glance, I was drawn towards seeing this otter as in like being in a lens or in an eye frame where they're being seen. And I feel like this is a message specifically for you, pile number 3, where you are being seen by this person as somebody who brings innocence and somebody who brings utter joy. I feel like he really brought color to their lives, pile number 3, and they tend to think a lot about how much color really and how much happiness and how much joyfulness you make them feel. That's how they see you, and that's what they are thinking about constantly. That's what they think about when they think about you. They literally tend to think about how happy and how joyful you make them feel and how much innocence and just presence in the moment you make them feel. But with the fox, they seem, as you see here, there is this admiring look. The fox here seems to be admiring the otter. I feel like the fox seems to be focused on the otter. And the fox here in the animal spirit deck from the Wild Unknown, it seems to be an energy of commitment, an energy of loyalty. And yeah, I feel like this person with the sun, it feels like they are really centering you in their lives. You occupy an extremely important place in their lives where they tend to see you in this lens of happiness and joy, and they want to commit to this. Despite I'm not sure if things ended between you and your person, pile number 3, but there seems to be an ending to a cycle or to a pattern. With the coffin here, there seems to be a transformation, especially because it's next to the fish card. If the coffin card here, because the coffin is not a very positive card, it talks about endings, but because it's next to the fish card, there seems to be an ending with that brings a positive outcome, because the fish here really talks about good luck, it talks about prosperity and success, it talks about flow and fortune. And it seems like your connection pile number 3 with your person transformed into something that brings abundance, or that somehow resonates with abundance in here. And with the Page of Swords, this person really, I'm not sure if you are in a no contact situation with this person by number 3, or if you are in a really, I want to say maybe a breakup, or maybe something ended, but I feel like something transformed. And I feel like you don't relate to the situation being the same as it was before. I feel like the situation definitely changed. And with the Daughter of Swords, this person seems to be curious, and they think about who you are really. They think about your existence. They think about how much joy you give to people around you and how much joy you brought to their lives. But yeah, also they seem to be curious about what do you think about them, because with the Hanged Man here there seems to be a change of perspective. Maybe you are in a pause, you would really resonate with this differently, but they seem to be changing their perspective or seeing things from a different perspective, where they finally, I'm not sure, but they might kind of like, if they were an avoidant person, maybe they have an avoidant attachment style, they might really, because especially the avoidants tend to finally like see the positive things only after an ending. So they might really forget any pain maybe, or misunderstandings or conflicts or arguments that, if you have ever had any with them. So, and somehow they tend to only remember the positive things about their exes later. That is one pattern that the avoidant tends to be stuck at. So take that if it resonates. If it doesn't, it really should, it's okay. It's still a message for you. This reading still can resonate for you if you feel it does, despite your person not being an avoidant. So that's just an example or a specific message for somebody out there. But with the Page of Swords, they tend to be curious about how do you see them, and they also tend to be curious about how do you see the connection. I feel like there is perspective in the picture in here, and they feel like it feels like they think about how do you see them, how do you see the connection, and what is your perspective about them and the connection. But the Six of Cups and the Mother of Pentacles and Justice, they seem to themselves, they have changed their perspective, and they see this connection as something that is a soulmate like, that has a soulmate like energy to it. With the Mother of Pentacles, they cherish you here. And I specifically called it Reflections of the Mind because, and the book symbolism of your pile number 3, it felt like a book that is full of memories. It felt like there is history. It felt like there is long history. It felt like there are long chats, maybe a lot of memories, a lot of flashbacks. So also the 5th house in Vedic astrology, it's the house of Purva Punya. And Purva Punya really is a collection of past lives, if that's what you believe in. So this person might recognize you from the first time they saw you as somebody that they have maybe had a past life with, or this may be somebody that you knew since childhood, or I feel like you knew this person for a long time maybe. So with the 6th of Cups, they really cherish the memories they have for you. The memories they seem to cherish the memories they have with you. With the Mother of Pentacles, they seem to be cherishing how much groundedness and how much stability that is full of nurturing, how much safety maybe and security and care you brought into their lives. And with the Justice card, they seem to be reflecting about, again, lessons and things that went on and on between you. Maybe with the Justice card, they seem to be reflecting about if things were fair, maybe if they treated you fairly, maybe if they gave you what you deserve. And yeah, if this connection ended by number 3, the person is still really committed, I want to say, emotionally and romantically speaking, and they seem to have this protectiveness energy to them, this masculine energy, and this appreciation for what you were or what you have given them. So yeah, pile number 3, this was your reading. I hope it gave you insight and it helped you. If it resonated, please press the like button, comment down below. I love reading your comments, and subscribe so you won't miss any future readings. If you would like to book a private reading with me, or if you'd like to support me and my channel, you will find all the details in the description box below. Thank you so much for watching pile number 3, and see you next time.